Hi everyone, we're back with part 3 of the stamp maker and we're going to finish off our stamp now. And what I have here for my supplies is I have my block for stamping, I have my ink pad, and then I have my stamp that we just made. And the longer it sits in that hardening solution or the water inside the UV light, the clearer the stamp becomes. And I haven't trimmed it yet because I want to show you how to trim it. I also have my brayer for stamping, but that's not necessary. And I have my paper here for stamping on our project. So let's get started. I also have here the stencil adhesive, and we'll talk about that as we get to it. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your design and you're going to trim away the edges. Don't cut too close to the edge, but you want to trim away all of the excess photopolymer, hardened photopolymer, away from your stamp. And I'm just using my Stampin' Up! Scissors. You could use any scissors that you have. You do not have to use scissors that are specific for stamps. I like this blade of scissor because it's a short blade and it doesn't slide. It just kind of glides through because of the way the blade is shaped. Okay, so I have my design and it's all trimmed down. And I'm going to throw these little pieces in the trash. Then I'm going to take, there's a smooth side and a rough side to the stamp. The rough side is the stamping side. The smooth side is the part that goes onto the block. The stamp machine comes with adhesive sheets that you could definitely put down while this is square and then trim around it. I found that adhesive was a little too permanent for me, so and I prefer to use this. This is a stencil adhesive that is made by Delta, and it's repositionable, and it works a lot like the Eileen's tack it over and over glue. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a very light coat, and it has a little roller ball dauber on the top of it. We're going to put a very light coat on the smooth side. That's the side that's going to go down on the stamp block. We're going to put a very small amount on there, and we're going to wait for it to dry. And it gets kind of milky when it's when it goes on, and then it'll dry clear over time. You just got to let it sit for a couple of minutes. Now I've already done this to mine, so we don't have to wait for it to dry. And I'm going to place it down on top of my stamp block. And just like you do any other stamp block, I'm just going to put it down. And then I'm going to add my ink to my stamp. Now my ink pad is a little dried out, I think. So it may take a couple of applications to really get it inked up good. But I don't have any other black ink, and I wanted to be able to show this in black. So you're just getting, and I have found too with gel stamps in particular, it does not matter if I homemade it or not. I have to put ink on it a couple of times on the first application. I don't know why, if it's something on the stamp or what, but it seems like I have to ink it a couple of times to get the ink fully saturated on the stamp. And it could be me because I'm not a stamper, but some of you ladies who are stampers may have a better idea. But it just seems to me with the clear stamps, you have to do it a couple of times and then it's ready for real use. Okay, so I feel like that's pretty well saturated with ink. Now, this is a trick I learned from a YouTuber. I'm not sure who it was because I've seen a couple of you do it. But on the larger stamps where you have little control over, you know, making sure that you get the right amount of pressure, they've been taking their their paper and applying it to the top of the stamp, and then taking a brayer and running it across the top. So I'm going to try that and see if I get a really good even coverage. You don't have to do it this way. You could just stamp it like you normally do stamps. I just wanted to see how it works out. And there's my image. Now you want to be a little neater with making sure that you don't get ink up around the edges. Maybe I want to go back and trim some of that off because that shows me where ink is hitting the stamp, and you could definitely do that, go back and trim it off. But what I'm going to do with this one, I'm not going to throw this image away. I'm going to cut around the image and cut it out. And since this is not, it's a pretty basic shape around the outer parts, it should be pretty easy to do. And look at my dress form. I'm so excited, guys. Look at how beautiful it is. Anyway, thanks for watching my videos. I know this was a long one, and I know, you know, but look at the detail in that. Let me refocus that as I get it closer. Look at the detail, and the fine details are kept in this. It's so cool. Look at that. Anyway, this image will be available for download on my website at psychomoms.com. Please leave me comments and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching all 3 videos. I know it was a long process, but I had several people ask me to do it. So thanks for sharing with me today. Leave me comments.